Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another top half, bottom half. This week we are going over the top half and bottom half point guards in the NBA. So me and Ben are going to look at the list of all starting point guards across the NBA, and there's going to be some technicalities here because you have guys like James Harden.
It's
you
tough
have guys
position
like
to define
Luka.
sometimes.
It's very hard to define what a point guard is in the modern day NBA. So we're going to do our best to be more accurate based off of starting lineups and stuff. So without further ado, Ben,
Let's do it.
I have the standings in both conferences pull up, so we're just going to kind of go off it like that. And ironically enough, we're starting with the Boston Celtics, the number one team in the NBA. Yeah. Marcus Smart, based off of, statistically and all that stuff, people look at his stats and say, no, he's probably not a top 15 point guard. But from what he brings to the table for the Celtics, their success.
He's such an important part of that team.
He is such a key part of that team that he has to be in the top 15 argument. I probably would say that he's between 10 and 15, but he's
a top half.
He is top half. For sure. There are 15 worse point guards in him. Next team I have is the Milwaukee Bucks. Drew Holiday. He's a guy that, in my opinion, should be in the Defensive Player of the Year race every single season. One of the most underrated defenders of our generation. Drew Holiday is without a doubt top 15. You can honestly, this year, you can make an argument that he's top 5. I know that sounds crazy, but he has been phenomenal in Milwaukee.
Yes.
Next team, Philadelphia 76ers. I brought this up earlier. People can say James Harden. People can say that he's a point guard. He's the one that runs the show. Position-wise, Tyrese Maxey is the point guard in the Philadelphia 76ers. He starts alongside James Harden. He has missed some time this year, but when he is healthy, I believe he is a top half. Point guard, they made a pretty significant jump from last year to this year. The next team I have is the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Okay.
You have Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell there, one of the best backcourts in the NBA. Darius Garland is a top half point guard. Had a great year last year showing out, and this year he's averaging 22 points and over 8 assists, which honestly pretty solid. Now that he has Donovan Mitchell on his team, the Cavs are always missing that one star that they needed, and now that Donovan Mitchell's there, I mean, they're going to be in contention this year. So next team I have, now this is again a little tricky, the Brooklyn Nets. Kyrie Irving was there, but now Spencer Dinwiddie is the starting point guard. Even if he was still in Dallas and we were having this conversation about him there, I'd put him in the bottom half. Okay. Just because, Spencer Dinwiddie is a good player. He's fine. He's a fine player. I actually am a fan of, guys that have some height. Bigger ball handlers, he can pass for a wing if you wanted to. But honestly, he's just kind of like a filler player. He's a good role player to have on your team. He's not someone that's gonna take you from one level to the next. He's there to keep you afloat, not top 15. Now the next team I have, Ben, is the New York Knicks. Now Jalen Brunson is their starting point guard now. Now if we had this conversation last year or any other year, no, absolutely not. Jalen Brunson has done wonders for this New York Knicks team. His shooting numbers are very good, and he got snubbed from the All-Star game. Jalen Brunson is a top half point guard. Now, the next team we have is the Miami Heat. Now, the Miami Heat kind of mess around with their lineups a little bit. They have Tyler Hero in there. They have Max Strus in there, but Kyle Lowry is their true starting point guard. And my God, that dude fell off the face of the earth. Wow. Next team, the Atlanta Hawks. Trae Young. All right, here's my thing with Trae Young. He's a top half point guard. I'm gonna get that out of the way. I'm not gonna beat around the bush. But I really think Trae Young is one of the most overrated players in the NBA. He puts up 27 points. He puts up 27 and 10. I sound like an idiot for saying he can be overrated, but to me, those are empty stats. The Hawks are 29-30 right now. They pulled out some big trades to get guys like DeJounte Murray. They have Bogdanovich there, Capella, Collins, Hunter. They just traded for Sadiq Bey. They have a roster that should be better than 29-30. And I think if Trae Young had and I feel like if Trae Young had more leadership qualities in him as, a guy that can help his team win games by not putting up crazy numbers that, he's top 15. But I think that he's on the bottom for me because of that reason. He didn't make the All-Star game this year. So again, I'm not crazy for saying that. A guy averaging 27 and 10 not making the All-Star game is kind of crazy, but it's because they're not winning games. And he doesn't do much for me. We have the Washington Wizards. And I'm looking at their team now. It seems I'll be honest with you, I haven't followed along with the Wizards too much this year, but Monte Morris seems to be their starting point guard, bottom half. I mean, I don't really I'm not really going to get into this too much. I think maybe you can argue Beal could be the guy because he's the ball handler, but no. Next team I have is Toronto. Fred VanVleet. I think when this is over, we're going to go over, and we might have to move some guys around. I'll put him top half right now. Okay. The Bulls. Lonzo Ball, excuse me, usually is their starting point guard, but recently came out saying that his knee injury, he's not playing the rest of this year. He's still getting some soreness in his knee, and is something that doctors have never seen before. So he might not be their starting point guard for much longer. They have this guy called Ayo Ayo is his name. So we're going to call him Ayo. Bottom half point guard. He's very young, and I think he has a lot of potential. Very good defensive guard. But
as of right now,
no. Indiana Pacers, Tyrese Halliburton. Yeah, absolutely. I think Tyrese Halliburton, I mean, this guy is going to be around for a while. He is one of the best, not even young point guards, one of the best point guards in the league today. The Orlando Magic, Markelle Fultz. Hasn't played that much, so I'm going to say no to that one. I think Paulo is technically their ball handler.
Yeah.
But he's a forward, so I'm not giving it to him. The Charlotte Hornets, LaMelo Ball. I mean, LaMelo Ball, Terry Rozier, but I think LaMelo Ball.
I'd probably put them both top half.
I think they should be. I'm just going to go with LaMelo here. I think LaMelo should be top half. The Hornets just suck.
They do.
That's an awful organization. Terrible organization. The Detroit Pistons, I think Jaden Ivey has been their starting point guard of rookie this year. Bottom half, very young, is going to be very good. He was actually my sleeper pick to win Rookie of the Year. That team that they have building in Detroit over there it's very promising, but it's too young, way too young. Now we're moving over to the West. We're done with the East, move over to the West. Denver Nuggets, Jamal Murray. Before this year, this year, no. Next team, Memphis Grizzlies. Yes, a million times over. Ja Morant is undoubtedly a top 5 point guard. I also want to be the guy to pat myself on the back here. When he got drafted a few years ago, I said, and I have stood by it, give him 3 years. He's going to be a top 5 point guard. 3 years have gone by, and I think you can make an argument that he's higher than top 5. He's probably top 3 right now. Sacramento Kings. Shout out De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox is top half for sure. He got, when they announced the All-Star reserves, he didn't make it initially. I don't think it should have taken a few injuries for him to make it. I think he was deserving of it already. But what him and Domantas Sabonis are doing, they're the 3rd seed in the West right now. The Sacramento Kings are the third seed in the West. He's averaging 25 points, 6 assists, 4 rebounds. Next team is the Clippers. Russell Westbrook. Reggie Jackson was their starting point guard. And I'm still saying bottom half for Russell Westbrook. I feel so bad for this guy. I genuinely do, because I feel like he was the scapegoat. He was the guy that was taking all the blame in LA when realistically, I don't think it really was his fault for all the issues that were going on there. And just like he nearly got like blacklisted from the league. Like he almost got to a point where like he's not going to make a team anymore, like out of the league, which I have gone on and I have said this on record in the past. I think Westbrook is one of the most overrated players in history because of the whole triple-double thing, the whole like aura of that, and it's great. I think he's also a guy that puts up empty stats on bad teams. They made the playoffs that year. He won the MVP, rightfully deserved it. But moving on to the next team, Chris Paul. Now, name value wise, I think for sure top 15, but he's missed some time this year. He fell. I mean, he's not the old
Chris Paul.
No, even like he's not even 36-year-old Chris Paul. Not a top half point guard. He can turn around after the All-Star break and stuff, but not top half. Now, the Dallas Mavericks. Kyrie Irving. Now, he's only played 4 games for them. How many games has he played this season in total? I want to give... He's played 44 games this year. Was a starter in the All-Star game. He is a top half point guard. He averaged 27 points this game. Yeah.
Say what you want. Say what you want about basketball.
Outside of basketball, he's said and done a lot of things that are frowned upon, and he should have gotten punished for things, all those things that we're not talking about that. I believe Kyrie Irving, with my own he is one of the most skilled players that I have personally ever seen. Yeah. The New Orleans Pelicans. Now, I think CJ McCollum, technically speaking, is their starting point guard. I think I'm going to have to put him bottom half.
Okay.
We're getting close right now. We're going to move some stuff around. But I think right now I'd have to put him bottom half.
Fair.
We'll put him bottom half. Minnesota, they had D'Angelo Russell. They now have Mike Conley. But I'm going to say D'Angelo Russell here because that was their point guard for most of the year. I'm going to say no. Golden State, on the other hand, Steph Curry. I get it. He has missed some games this year. Only played 38 games this year, but like in all considering, it's not really as many as some other guys we put on here.
Yeah.
Steph Curry is a top half point guard. That's not really up for debate. Nothing we have to really get into. The Thunder is interesting because you have Josh Giddey. Isn't the sexiest name in the world.
No, not at all.
16 points, almost 8 rebounds, 6 assists a game. I mean, he is like a very good basketball player. And playing next to Shai Gilgeous too, I mean, I feel like his name doesn't get talked about a lot because of who he's playing next to. But I think that Josh Giddey has a case to be top 15. I want to put him there right now.
Okay.
But that can move. I'm going to put him there for now. Utah Jazz, Mike Conley, I mentioned he was their starting point guard. I'll put him bottom half. Portland, Damian Lillard. He's top half. And that's where we're left with the Lakers. We're going to give it to Dennis Schroeder. Nope. The San Antonio Spurs, we're going to give it to Tyus Jones. No. Or Trae Jones, excuse me. Still no. And the Houston Rockets, Kevin Porter Jr., no. Honestly, I did pretty good. We did pretty fucking good going through that once. I think Josh Giddey might be the only one that you can move around here. If I were to flip him, I don't even think I would put Chris Paul, honestly. If I were to flip him, I would honestly consider CJ McCollum.
Okay.
Maybe. Because he's had to do a lot this year. Ingram and Zion have been hurt a lot this year, so he's had to put the team on his back a lot, and he's not a big guard as it is.
Yeah.
I have to have a bold pick in there. I don't know if it's even that bold, but I want to keep Josh Giddey in there. Okay. So is there anything you would change?
No, I think I agree.
But I want to hear who you would put in your top half, bottom half. Put in the comments what other videos you'd like us to see make, other top half, bottom half videos, starting 9 videos, head-to-head videos, whatever it may be. Check out videos on other platforms as well. Look up Clutch Points. We're all over the place. Ben will put our socials right here for you so you can check out our personal content if you would like. And I think I'm tired. That was a lot of talking. Yeah. I'm not going to lie to you. Yeah. But appreciate you guys watching. We'll be back next time. Peace.